Welcome to Star Trek Online. Have no idea what that was about, but welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to another episode of Let's Play Star Trek Online. And we are quickly getting to the end of this game. And of course, it won't actually be the end of everything I'm going to do for this Let's Play series, but it will mark the end of the storyline missions, and we're getting very close. Okay, first of all, in the last episode, we completed the Cardassian struggle, which was all of the Cardassian missions. So up to this date, we now have the Klingon War finished, the Romulan Mystery, and the Cardassian struggle. In that last episode, I was questioning whether Mark 11 items could be equipped once you hit Rear Admiral upper half. I was correct. You can equip Mark 11 equipment and gear on your ship and yourself at Rear Admiral upper half. However, when you go to do replay missions, it won't quite give you the option for the Mark 11 gear yet. So if I wanted to replay a second
By now,
wave,
you've faced the Borg.
you see it's
The
only
collective
giving
is
me
appearing
Mark
with more
10
frequency in the Alpha
weapons.
Quadrant now.
But once I hit level 50, then it will be Mark 11. So you want to save your replays until you hit level 50, and then you can replay missions and get the latest gear, Mark 11. Actually, this game does have Mark 12 gear. That has just come about this year. They are more expensive to get, more rare to get. A lot of the Mark 12 stuff you can buy on the exchange, but it is very, very, very expensive. Also, you can craft Mark 12 stuff if you have the crafting ability, which we have none of, and it takes a lot of stuff to craft Mark 12. And, of course, you can do missions like the STFs and other in-game content to grind for Mark 12 gear. So Mark 12 is a lot harder to get, whereas Mark 11 is extremely easy to get. Mark 11 gear used to be the highest end gear you could get in the game until real recently. So Mark 11 will be very good in-game gear level content. You do not need Mark 12 to win with the Borg. You can totally do just fine with Mark 11. So, what I have done is, first of all, I did a couple of deep space encounters just to get us to level 47 right here. So now we can do the Borg stuff. I also had some DOF missions going, and here's 4 of them I can turn in right now. And that will help us just a little bit more. Ooh, we got our Admiral ability rank 3. So something has leveled up. Let's see, Admiral ability rank 3 gets us, if we are engineering, we get engineering proficiency. So that is what we have, and that is a ground trait. So I want to add it to my ground. It should be here. It is, engineering proficiency, and there it is. Now it's added to our abilities. And that allows me to do plus 2.9 shield regeneration a second for 60 seconds, and plus 18 all damage resistance for 60 seconds. So that's what that does. So very, very good ability there. So make sure you put those new abilities on your hotbar, you know, when you get those new abilities that pop up like that, because you definitely want to use them. Everything helps. Okay, so as I mentioned, I got us to level 47, and I went through the exchange and I upgraded what I could based on the money I had. I did not have a whole lot of energy credits. I had 3.2 million energy credits, and I am down to 906,000, and decided to stop right there because I didn't want to deplete myself dry. Now, first of all, on my my Jem'Hadar set that I'm using, it is all Mark 10 still, because I cannot upgrade to Mark 11 yet until I hit level 50. I also cannot do the replay mission to get the Mark 11 phaser. So I'm just going to stick with this Mark 10 set right now, which is plenty good, actually, to do the Borg missions that we have to do before us. For STFs, you could do better. But for the storyline Borg missions, Mark 10 is perfect. And of course, I have a Mark 10 very rare kit, and that's the highest grade kit you can get anyway. There is no higher grade kit, so I have the best kit I can get. So of course, I'll stick with that. I did put on my Tribble of Borg. Tribble little thing there, because I will definitely be using that against the Borg. It gives plus 1.5 all damage resistance for 3600 seconds and a 3% all damage versus Borg for 3600 seconds. So I equipped that on my character. And let's see, now for my bridge officers, I was able to upgrade them to Mark 11 because I just used the exchange, and I just bought first of all, Mark 11 uncommon shields that have a modifier of capacity, so that they have a higher capacity than what a standard Mark 11 shield would have. So they have a 291.8 maximum shield capacity, and I got 4 of those. They were not expensive. They were like $2,000 energy credits each. So it was fairly cheap to do that. So I got 4 of those. As you can see, my officers, they all have that Mark 11 shield. Okay. I also got the Mark 11 armor. It's just a common energy dampening armor, no modifiers. And the reason why is because once I started going for the modifiers that I would want on an armor, like regenerating health or regenerating shield, the cost started getting really high, and I was going to run out of energy credits. I wasn't going to have enough for everything else. So I just had to settle on common Mark 11 energy dampening armor for right now. Later in the game, or as I get more money, I can slowly upgrade their armor and their shields to even better stuff. I also upgraded a couple of their weapons. I have put on a Mark 11 rare anti-proton pulse wave assault Mark 11 with 2 modifiers, damage times 2. So as you can see, we get 108.1 DPS and 135.1 anti-proton damage, and a 50% chance that it will repel, and a 20% crit severity bonus. So I like the pulse wave assault for Borg. On the Borg, it's a very, very useful weapon. It'll push them back, it'll repel them, and anytime you can get the Borg away from you or push or repel, that is very useful against the Borg. And the pulse wave, its secondary option, the arc wave setting, it exposes the Borg, and it has a wider area. So you can expose a whole lot of Borg at once in a wide area and do damage at the same time. So, very good weapon to have against the Borg, and that is why I've chosen that for our Anar, for our Borg character here. I'm going to let her continue to use the Synchronic Proton Distortion Prototype Assault Rifle. As you can see, it's only doing 72.9 DPS, so it's not as much, not near as much as this weapon here, but it is auto-leveling, and it will level with us as we keep leveling up to 50. But even though it doesn't have a big DPS, it still does a lot of damage against the Borg. And remember, it has that chained damage option where it will chain across all the different enemies and do them all damage at once. It's actually a pretty good weapon against Borg, and it is a proton gun, basically. And for my Breen, I have also gave him an anti-proton pulse wave Mark 11 damage times 2. And he's going to use that for right now. Now, once I get to the Breen missions and I get the CRM 200, which is a cryonic weapon that the Breen use, I will then replace that and put that on my Breen officer so he can use that. But for now, he's going to use the anti-proton weapon. And my Jem'Hadar, ultimately, I want to get my Jem'Hadar. I want him to have the same Jem'Hadar set that I have, so that he has that whole set ability too. I want him to have the, Mark 11, shield armor and the Jem'Hadar weapon itself. He's a Jem'Hadar. He should use a Jem'Hadar weapon. Unfortunately, you cannot have multiple Jem'Hadar sets on a character, so I can't have him having a set and me having a set together of the same mark value at the same time. But what I can do is when I'm able to replay the Jem'Hadar mission to get the Mark 11 stuff, I can then put the Mark 10 Jem'Hadar stuff on him. So he'll have the Mark 10 Jem'Hadar gear, and I'll have the Mark 11 Jem'Hadar gear. And then when I get better sets in the future, like Mako or Omega, then I can give him the Mark 11 Jem'Hadar stuff, and I'll take the even better Mako or Omega stuff. So that's how I plan to do it with him. And so in the meantime, I've just given him a weapon I already had, which is still a pretty good weapon because it's a very rare. And it is a Polaron Pulse Wave Assault Mark 10, and it's got three modifiers because it's very rare. It's got KB3, which is kickback, or knockback, and that is very, very good. Again, against the Borg, you want to push them back or repel them because they come at you and they shoot you with their tendrils and assimilate you. So you want to have that against them. So that's what I've done for my bridge officers. One other thing I did is I gave them the cryo tribble. I gave all of them a cryo tribble. It's cheap. It was 500 EC a piece, very cheap. You get plus 2% all damage resistance, and then you get plus 5% cold resistance. Now the cold resistance won't do anything for the Borg, but when I do the Breen missions after the Borg, and I got that whole 5-episode arc of fighting the Breen, this tribble will help during all of that. So I went ahead and just put it on there, and then this tribble will last me a long time on my bridge officers. There is a better tribble I could go with, a triolic tribble, which gives you a plus 3% all damage resistance. So it's a better damage resistance overall, but it doesn't have that cold resistance so for the Breen stuff. So for right now, I just stuck them with crowd tribbles, and that'll be good. Alright, now for my ship. Again, I'm sticking with the Aegis stuff because it auto levels with us, and it's going to be the best set until I get the Borg set. So we'll keep that. And what I did is, obviously, I ultimately want Mark 11 very rare, equipment, but I couldn't afford that. It was just too expensive. And I looked at the different phaser types or energy types that were on the exchange, and I just basically bought the cheapest I could for right now. And the cheapest that I could find were just plain old regular phaser beam arrays, just that plain old phaser beam array. No Polaron, no Tetrion, no plasma, plain old phasers, right? These were 200,000 energy credits apiece, and I needed 6 of them. But they have really good stats, and I'm very proud of this find because these are Mark 11, so I mean we're right up there on the Mark level, and they're rare items, so I mean we're only one modifier away from very rare. And they all have 2 modifiers, and the modifiers that all of these had was damage times 2, which increases my DPS, which on beams is very important. You want to increase that DPS. So as you can see, it's not showing the real result until I beam up. I need to beam up for it to show the actual result. But I'm going to get very good damage out of these. The only other modifier I would like to have would be accuracy. So if these were Mark 11 very rare with accuracy and damage times 2, that would be perfect, and I would be done. I would not have to update throughout the rest of the game. I would be totally happy with that forever. So we're very near what I would consider the up kind of modifiers and weaponry to have. I also got uncommon quantum torpedo Mark 11s with accuracy. Again, I would like to have accuracy and damage times 2, and then it would be up. But right now, that's what I could afford. And on my consoles, I couldn't afford to upgrade all my consoles, but I went ahead and upgraded my 2 EPS, so they have a better power transfer rate. And then I upgraded my tactical console to the tactical phaser relay. Since now I'm using phasers, I'm not using Tetrion anymore, I needed to change my tactical consoles, and I was able to afford the Mark 11 variants, so I'm getting plus 26.2% phaser damage. With 2 of them I get diminishing returns, but I'm still more than what 1 would give. So pretty awesome. I am decked out I am decked out for what I can afford right now. And I've got to tell you, with these specs, we will be doing pretty good against the Borg. It will not be a bad experience. Okay, so we're going to start the Borg stuff. I know you all are anxious, so let's beam up to our ship. And there's one more thing that we need to add, or else you will not have a happy day with the Borg. When the Borg were first introduced into this game, they were not able to adapt to your weapon type. They simply took damage and died, just like every other enemy. But as we know from the TV series, and every time we've seen the Borg on screen, on TV, they're able to adapt to your weapons, and that means that you fire at them a few times, and then their shields adapt to your weapons, and then your weapons no longer do any damage to the Borg. We've seen it on screen. They introduced that into the Borg several seasons ago, where the Borg are now able to adapt to your weapons. And it sucks. And when once the Borg adapt to your weapons barely do any damage. They still are actually doing damage, but it's not a lot, and it takes a whole lot more to kill them. So you have to constantly remodulate your weapons, and remodulating your weapons takes away that adaptation that the Borg had on them. But then they adapt again, and then you have to remodulate again, and over and over and over and over. Now, the way to get that remodulator is to be in space, like I am here, hit U or I, and go to your replicator, okay? And then at the very top, you'll see something called a frequency remodulator, and it should be free, absolutely free. When you hover over it, it says frequency remodulator, common ground device, overcomes Borg adaptation, 4-second charge up. So you need to take one for yourself, but that's not where you need to stop. You need to take one and put one on all your bridge officers, because this adaptation doesn't just apply to you, it applies to your bridge officers also firing on the Borg. Their weapons will also be adapted to by the Borg. And when the Borg adapt to their weapons, they won't do any damage. So you have to give your bridge officers a remodulator also, because they need to remodulate their weapons. So we need 5 total. So we can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great thing is it's completely free. Bad thing is that it takes a long time to recharge, and I'll show you on the ground. Now, as you can see, my inventory is full. I need to sacrifice something. Since I'm going to be doing the Borg right now, I'm going to take out this Tribble, because he's not necessary for the Borg. And I'm going to replace that with my frequency remodulator. Okay? So just make sure you add that device to your device, and also go to your bridge officers for the ground, and make sure to add the remodulator for them as well. And as you can see, I left a space here right at the front to give them all a remodulator. Again, if you don't do this, it's bad. It took a long time to kill the Borg. So now that we have our remodulators equipped, we are now 100% fully capable or fully ready to engage the Borg. Okay? So let's start. The first thing to do is to report to Gamma Orionis. This is not a mission. This is basically just to show you how to get there. The Borg Collective must be stopped before they can reach the core worlds of the Federation, and Starfleet needs the best officers on the front lines. Borg have been located in Gamma Orionis. A fleet has already begun massing in the Cessus sector. Repeat, excuse me, I'm losing my voice. Report immediately to 4 of 10. She is a liberated Borg that has been providing us with strategic information. Last I heard, she was stationed on the USS Victory. The transwarp conduit to Gamma Orionis is in the Risa sector, blah blah blah, and all you get is skill points for this. So this is not a mission, this is just to show us how to get to Gamma Orionis. So we'll just go do this real quick, and then we'll do the first mission. All in this same episode, so no worries. So to get to Gamma Orionis, you have to use the transwarp gate that's in the Sirius sector block, which is basically where Earth is. Earth is up here, Sol system, and then way down here toward the bottom it says transwarp to Gamma Orionis. So just set a course to that transwarp gate. Now I am not quite sure where Gamma Orionis is in Trek lore. Like if you watch the TV shows and all that, I don't know if they ever mention the Gamma Orionis sector. So I'm not quite sure in the grand scheme of the universe where Gamma Orionis is. It's never really talked about. I mean, is this a transwarp gate to the Delta Quadrant? I don't think so. So I don't know where Gamma Orionis is. But apparently that's where all the Borg are, so that's where we're going. So, some people have asked me, why am I not using the slipstream drive? Well, quantum slipstream, which allows you to go a lot faster than what we're going now, it basically doubles your speed for like 30 seconds in sector space, but it is a Vice Admiral ability. You have to be level 50, so I cannot get that ability yet. Once I hit level 50, then I'll get the it's called Quantum Slipstream. I'll be able to put it on my hotbar, hit it, and then we'll instantly jump into a Quantum Slipstream tunnel and go a lot faster in sector space. It has a cooldown time though, so it's not very useful for continually moving very fast across the whole galaxy, but it will get you like halfway across a sector block, so it's useful still. But I am not there yet, so I cannot use it. It's too bad. Just make sure we have everything else on our hotbar that we have available. Yeah, there's a couple of new things I got. I don't think I've showed you. Fleet Support 1, we got that ability, which allows us to summon an allied ship, but only when we have taken a lot of damage. We have to have our hull fall below 50%, and then we can summon an allied ship. And it's basically just a holographic ship. Another thing I got was a Miracle Worker 2. I actually got this a while ago. Haven't used it yet, but it gives a very large hull, shield, and subsystem repair. So if I'm really damaged, I can hit it, and it will give me a very, very, very large hull, shield, and subsystem repair all with one click. But haven't really had to use it. Alright, here we are at the transwarp gate. When you get here, you have two options. Transwarp to Gamma Orionis or join Battle Group Omega. Now we cannot quite go to Gamma Orionis yet because we have to first report to 4 of 10, and she is in Battle Group Omega. So think of this transwarp gate as a gateway to two different areas, Gamma Orionis and then Battle Group Omega. And Battle Group Omega is basically the battle group that's forming to take on the Borg. And that's how that's explained. We're all allies here. You'll find Klingon ships and Federation ships. See all these? Those are Klingon ships over there, and the Federation over here. These are all our allies, and they're amassing to take on the Borg. But they are also contacts. Like I can access my bank here. She is in the Victory. I can access mail, exchange. There's the Victory over here. So these ships serve as contacts when you're in Gamma Orionis. And now we are at the Victory, so we will hail the USS Victory. I see you found your way to Gamma Orionis. And you can talk to her and ask her all these questions. What is the situation? And they tell you Battle Group Omega of the 4th Fleet is here for one purpose, to defeat the Borg. We have pinpointed this region as the heart of their incursion of the Alpha Quadrant, And our mission is to stop them here before they can reach the heart of the Federation. So basically you can read all this stuff. I'm just going to say I'm ready for duty. And then she says that is good. There's much to be done. Once you've settled in, contact me, Lieutenant Carbo, or Captain DeVok for further instructions. So those are my new contacts in Gamma Orionis. We can be reached remotely or by hailing the Victory directly, which is the hailing tab. Alright, that's finished. Now I'm done. Now I can go to the Gamma Orionis sector. And to do that, there's two ways you can do that. You could just hit this button here and depart system. Or we can go back to the transwarp gate and use it to transwarp back to the Risa sector, and then from there to Gamma Orionis. Because Gamma Orionis is where our first mission is going to be. So that was basically just to introduce us to what Gamma Orionis is all about and the transwarp gate. Now we can start our first mission. So the very first mission of the Borg is called Collateral Damage. And it says, innocent civilians are trapped in the crossfire when the Borg and the Undine clash. And this is Captain DeVok. Yeah, DeVok. Admiral, we are receiving an emergency distress signal from the colony on Hotep 4. The colonists are reporting Borg activity, as well as some strange anomalies that have appeared near the planet. There's no time to waste. Proceed immediately to the Hotep system and aid the colonists. Good luck. And for this, we are going to get one armor type, and it's an uncommon. And it's only a Mark 10. So not great, but there you go. Now we need to go to Gamma Orionis. We're already at the transwarp gate. So now we'll finally go to Gamma Orionis. The big
Once
green...
thought to be an unstoppable force, the Borg were dealt a heavy blow by Catherine Janeway and the crew of the USS Voyager. But the Borg are nothing if not resilient. They retreated, waited, planned, and they adapted. These are not the nightmares of Wolf 359. They are faster, aggressive, relentless, remorseless. What the Borg cannot assimilate, they will destroy.
So there you go. That was Spock again for entering another new sector. And this is Gamma Orionis. Hello to Gamma Orionis. This is where all the Borg are. Every enemy contact you see in here that you can fly into is a Borg enemy contact. So if you just want to flat out fight Borg and nothing else, just enter one of these contacts and have fun. You can fly up to their ships as well. These cubes flying around here. So fly up to a cube, go into a deep space encounter, and go fight Borg. If that's all you want to do. But we're going to do the missions here. The first planet we're going to is Hotep, which is right here in front of the gate. See, that's the slipstream thing right there. Can't quite do that yet. Alright, so we are now at Hotep. And like Spock said, you know, Janeway did deal a lot of damage to the Borg, but they've had a time to come back to recharge, replan, rebuild themselves, and they are very aggressive. But we are pretty well prepared for them. Sensors are picking up multiple Borg and Undine ships in the system, and there's signs of weapons fire. Captain, they're firing on one another. There's something else too. There are a series of massive structures in orbit around the planet. These things. They have a cosmic frequency that matches the Undine, so I know they're from fluidic space. But they're so different from what we understand that the computer is unable to determine their purpose. Initiating level 1 scan. There's debris in the system consistent with civilian ships. The Borg and the Undine are targeting one another, but they're also attacking any ship attempting to break orbit. Recommend we engage them now. So let's take out the Borg and the Undine. Start with this sphere. Undine ship. Alright. Now the Undine have this ugly burn here. Plasma torpedo. It's terrible. Radiation damage, basically. So there's these huge platforms out here. We will find out what they are for later.
Warning, ship is under attack.
Oh, they're gone. And they're gone. That was not bad at all. That was pretty easy. But this is just the first mission, and the first mission is actually pretty easy. Beam down to Hotep 4. So we're going to go down and rescue some hostages. And as you can probably guess, there's going to be Borg everywhere. Captain, there are Borg just ahead, and a colonist is trapped in the skirmish. We need to help him. Alright. Armor up. Pop those. And let's go to business. Aw, crap. I didn't equip my modulator. Alright. One thing here I forgot to do is to equip my remodulator. I need a button for it on my tray. It's no good without a button. I don't need 2 cover shields. I don't know why I have 2 cover shields. So make sure after you put your remodulator in your device slot that you actually make a button for it. Or put it on your tray so you can use it. Here it is. I like to put mine right beside where I'm firing my weapons from, so that I can just quickly use it. Because you'll need to use it quickly like this. This is how it works. And you can see how long it takes to remodulate. That can get really annoying when you're in the heat of battle with Borg all around you and you have to remodulate. Yeah, that gets really annoying. It has a very long recharge time. Like right now, see, I can't do anything while I'm recharging. It doesn't allow you to do anything. So, that sucks. But, thankfully, the STF gear has a way to improve that, which we'll talk about later. Alright, here's the colonists. You arrived just in time. A few of us made it out before the Borg shields went up, but there are still some people trapped. So, drop the force fields and rescue the colonists. Alright, so here's what we have to do. We have to rescue 5 groups of colonists. Now, you can take the long way around, which is to go all the way down here and all the way around, because ultimately you need to go where this thing is. Me, I go the short way. Which is just to jump down here and jump down here and jump down here and jump down here. And my bridge officers will follow. Yeah, look at them go. And that's a shortcut. There are no Borg actually walking around you have to worry about until you get to this area. So I just take the short route. Alright. So, before you go into a Borg group, first thing you want to do is remodulate. And you just want to remember, when you start seeing adapted pop up above them a lot, remodulate. And it just remodulate a lot. Basically, you'll find out you have to do that a lot. And, unfortunately, you can't do anything while it's remodulated. And your bridge officers will also remodulate when they need to. And your drones will also remodulate themselves also. Now these boards, see, adapted right there. Now I need to remodulate. But I can't do anything while I'm remodulating. I have to run around. Now, these Borg are really easy. This is just the first Borg you encounter in the game, well, other than the tutorial. So, these Borg are not hard. These are nothing like the STF Borg. Alright, tag for beam out. These Borg are a cinch. Quantum mortars are also good against Borg. Anything that does physical damage is good against the Borg.
Shield closing fast.
Okay. Hostage. So basically, you just keep going around this thing, and we'll find a couple more groups here. Take them out. These Borg, don't worry about them yet. They won't bother you just yet.
Enemy target locked.
Okay, rescue this hostage. Another group.
Enemy target locked.
Adapted. And sucks. There you go. Bridge officers got him. Another colonist. We have one more left. That group is way over here. Basically, just circle this thing, and you'll find the groups. These Borg are super easy. Especially since we are well geared up. And that's the key. Once you're well geared up, it's really not too difficult. Alright, so now we have to destroy Borg shield generators. Because we need to get inside this complex. And the generators are these things here. And there are 5 of them. Well, there's more than 5, but we just need to destroy 5. Once we do, though, Borg are going to start coming out of their alcoves. So, be ready to fight. Oh, there's my remodulator. It put a button up there. Huh, weird. Okay, anyway. Oh, they didn't come out. Oh, there they come. Okay, that's 1 down, 4 to go. Oh, they're gonna come out right now. While my bridge officers are working on that, I'm going to take out the generator. There we go. good so far. Now this is why I like being an engineer when it comes to the Borg, because I can pop my two drones. I can pop my my mortar and my turret, and then of course on any of my other engineering, I have a drone and turrets as well. So you put all that stuff down, and it takes the heat off of you, and really puts a lot of firepower on the Borg, and I absolutely love that. Okay. Now we have to go inside and rescue the colonists. And here's what you should know about the inside. A lot of Borg groups inside. If you aggro all of them at once and get them all on your butt at once, which is very easy to do because they're very close together, that could spell bad news for you. So the colonist is right over there. They're like way down in there. There they are. So there are groups along the way. I recommend trying to take them out one at a time. But if you get a lot of Borg on you, just try to fight them off best you can. There comes another group. Came out of nowhere. Okay. See, I don't want to bother that group. Don't really need to, so let's back off a little bit. Just tackle this one. Alright. Sweet. Now let's rescue the colonists. I never thought I'd see another friendly face again. I was attempting to download our computer core when the Borg trapped me. Our researchers have been gathering data on the anomalies in space since they first appeared. They're undine in origin, and our data seems to indicate that they are massive weapons that can level anything on the surface. We know the Undine have weapons that can destroy a planet, but these platforms will kill everything on the surface without destroying the planet itself. It gets the same result with less resources used. Captain, we're beaming the final colonists to the Pandorica now. The computer mainframe he was trying to access is located in the nearby courtyard. Be careful, it appears that the Undine orbital platforms are powering up and targeting the surface of the planet. Indeed they are. Avoid those. Avoid that. And run over here to this console. Alright, download important files. Alright, beam up to the ship. Alright, and as you can see, that's what was firing on us, is those weapons there. Alright, with the data from the colony's computer core, we now have a full scan of those platforms. We don't have any weapons that will penetrate their hulls, but I'm not detecting any shields or transport inhibitors that would stop us from transporting a weapon inside the platform. Cool. If we beam a trilithium charge into the central platform and detonate it remotely, the chain reaction explosion should shut down the remaining units. Cool. We'll need to get close to the cannons to make that happen, so we need to beam explosives on board. Now, why didn't they ever do this in the series? So easy just to beam a weapon on board somebody's ship or a platform or something and blow it up. If there were shields blocking it, I can understand, but there were times when there were not shields, and they could have beamed stuff over easily. Alright, now when we get close, there's going to be Undine ships pop out. Beam explosives over. Done. And any ships? Nope. Okay. That's one down. Uh-oh. There come some ships. See if we can plant the bomb before we have to fight them. Planting bomb. Bomb planted. Now let's take out these ships. Hello, fellas. It's me. Yeah, the Undine are pretty tough. Those are just their little ships. They are pretty tough creatures. Alright, this is the last one. Beam explosive. Alright. Captain, one little colonist is asking to speak with you. Admiral, we've received a message from some of the other colonists on the surface. They need the Pandorica to help them escape. There are Borg coming after them. Come on, ship, turn, turn, turn. Okay. Let's take out the Borg.
Warning. Ship is under attack. Target shield has failed.
I was supposed to meet up with the shuttles. I didn't do that. Oops. Helps to read. Well, I already destroyed the Borg. I'm technically supposed to meet up with the shuttles first, not attack the Borg. So where are the shuttles? They're tiny, but there they are. Okay, let's meet up with the shuttles. Protect escaping shuttles. Now, I don't know why, but those platforms were supposed to blow up, but they didn't. I'm not going to worry about it. In the past, they used to blow up. Might be a bug. Alright, so there's the shuttles. And we have to follow them and protect them. And obviously there's Borg up ahead. Oh, even the Borg probes give you a little fight. Alright, where are the shuttles? There they are. Alright, I just have to wait for them to warp out. Anytime now. And there they go. Alright. Accolade complete. Assimilation acquittal. The shuttles are all clear and I'm not detecting any more Borg. Well done, Captain. We should contact Starfleet. They need to know that the Borg-Undine conflict has spilled over onto this region of space. Maybe we can use that to our advantage. Depart system. And that's the first Borg mission. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. That one's pretty easy. Just an introduction to the Borg. So let's turn that in, and we'll just take any old thing. And we're done with that. As you can see, it has stopped giving us massive amount of skill points. And now it's not really doing much for us at all to gain more skill points. Alright, so the next episode will be, or the next mission will be Asset Recovery, which is another Borg mission, but there you go. Borg Collective, first mission done, collateral damage. Next mission to do is Asset Recovery. So, yeah, that was fun, huh? Alright, I'll see you guys in the next episode.